Sober for 21 years, Lex had spent 20 of them struggling with a bipolar diagnosis that catapulted his moods from one extreme to the other. He was over-medicated, argumentative, and shrouded in brain fog, and the worse he felt, the more secluded he became, which only compounded his problems. He was on a downward spiral, defeated, sure that the rest of his life was going to look like this, and wondering if he would ever get control of it all. He had tried everything to help with his mental and physical health, except for changing his diet, so he came to me because he wanted to give it a try. After working together for 6 months, Lex's life is radically different. He cleaned up his diet and he made the connection between blood sugar regulation and his mood swings. With help from his doctor, he was even able to cut 2/3 of the medication that he had been prescribed to treat those symptoms, and he was experiencing far less depression. He began exercising regularly and resumed his hobby of long-distance cycling. And as an added bonus, he felt more comfortable socializing, noticed that his brain fog cleared up, started reading again, and even found that his acne cleared up. Lex is like a lot of people that I run into. They think the reason they feel the way they do is because something in their brain is broken. This is really personal for me because once upon a time I felt the same way as well. Now, you might be wondering who I am and why I'm even qualified to talk to you about mental health. My name is Jayne Reynolds. I'm board certified in holistic nutrition. I'm a level 2 certified nutrition recovery coach. I'm certified through the Amen Clinics as a brain health professional, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sycamore and Sage Nutrition. I've struggled with my own emotional health. In 2004, I had a nervous breakdown. I was struggling with exhaustion, emotional and physical pain, anxiety, and depression, and the anxiety was debilitating at times. Now, I did all the things that I was told I was supposed to do, right? I went and got counseling, I had a psychiatrist, I took all the meds, and I went to our church and I sought help from them and turned to my faith in depth. But it didn't resolve the issues, and I fell into the trap of believing 3 common myths that everyone believes about mental health. However, on my healing journey, I have discovered the secret sauce for feeling patient, calm, courageous, and connected, and have spent the last 3 years helping other individuals do the same thing by getting to the root of their emotional issues and teaching them to feed their starving brain. And I'm here to help you do the same thing too. So what are the 3 lies that we commonly believe about our mental health? We believe that therapy and drugs are our only options when it comes to supporting our mental health. I know this lie well because it's one I believed for a really long time. In 1997, I started having trouble with anxiety and I didn't understand what was going on with my mind. So I did what you do. I went to see my doctor and he referred me to a psychiatrist who prescribed me an antidepressant and then eventually put me on benzos. But it didn't help the problem, and by 2004, I was having these anxiety attacks 3 and 4 times a day, and they were lasting for up to an hour at a time. I had no idea what was going on, but I lived in this perpetual state of fear. I thought I was crazy, I thought I was a hopeless cause, and I thought my brain was broken, but it turned out I thought wrong. When I started seeing a psychiatrist, no one talked to me about my diet, my gut health, how my hormones were working, or how my thyroid functioned. His job as a psychiatrist was to help manage my medications and mitigate any side effects that I was having from them. He wasn't there to help me get to the root cause of why I was feeling the way that I felt. Fortunately, I stumbled into the world of natural health care, where they understand that everything is interconnected and we need to address every aspect of our human selves. Our anatomy, our physiology, our biochemistry, our spiritual life, and our emotions. They help me understand that while therapy is very helpful because it addresses the emotions, and drugs can be helpful because they influence our biochemistry, they don't address whether or not poor gut health is impacting how our brain works. And it doesn't take into account that we might actually not have a benzo deficiency, but we might be low on magnesium, or vitamin B6, or zinc, or some of these essential proteins. Or we might have a sugar addiction that is driving our feelings of anxiety. Which brings me to the second lie we believe. We believe our labs are normal. First, let me be clear, I am not anti-doctor and I'm never going to contradict any medical advice that you've been given. But I have heard from many of my clients about how they've gone to the doctor looking for answers when they don't feel well, and they've had all these tests run only to hear that their labs look normal even though they don't feel right. They've been given prescriptions that mask the symptoms that they're experiencing, and worse yet, they're told that their health concerns are nothing to worry about. It's all in their head. This can happen for a couple of reasons. Either they aren't looking for the right thing, or the lab range is still technically within the normal limit, but only by a point or two. So let's take an example. Say they've been feeling exhausted, depressed, unmotivated, and overweight for years with no obvious cause. So the doctor orders a blood test and looks at their TSH level, which is a thyroid hormone. Now the results come back and it shows this TSH level of 0.52, which is technically within the normal range of 0.5 to 5.0. And the doctor says, well, good news, your thyroid's fine, that's definitely not the issue. Instead of using that as a warning sign to help you prevent disease, normal ranges are used as this absolute marker to diagnose a disease state after your results are out of range. But in this example, low thyroid function could be the culprit behind your persistent low-level depression. How do you know if your unregulated blood sugar handling is the culprit behind your anxiety, or if your low levels of sex hormones are driving your cravings, anxiety, perfectionism, irritability, and anger? I look at those reference ranges differently. I can evaluate your standard doctor-ordered labs to look for patterns that show me when you might be trending in the wrong direction. And without diagnosing any specific illness, I can see which areas need support and then catch any potential nutritional deficiencies. And then the third lie we believe is that whatever we eat has no impact on our mental health. There is so much misinformation in the world about which foods are clean and healthy and beneficial for your brain, and we are easily influenced by fad diets and diets that work for our friends, but we never stop to ask whether or not a diet actually works for our own personal biochemistry. Food sensitivities are one of the many reasons that diet impacts mental and physical health, and these happen when your body has an immune response to the proteins in your food. They can cause a slew of symptoms from anxiety, depression, and suicidality to migraines and sinus problems, digestive issues, and chronic pain. And once they're activated, they can last for up to 28 days. In 7 years of nutritional coaching, I've witnessed food sensitivities cause multiple problems, many of them depression-related. Gluten was one of my clients' biggest trigger foods, and when she stopped eating it, her anxiety attacks went away and her OCD stopped completely within 1 week. For another client, it was dairy, for another, oats. How on earth do you figure out what your triggers are? The truth is that you need individualized testing to discover your personal nutritional needs. It's imperative for your success. But the biggest lie you're telling yourself is that mental health is all in your head. But it's not. It's a symptom of poor gut health and inadequate nutrition and poor blood flow and our toxic environments and subpar hormones and the physical and mental trauma that we've been through. It's the symptoms of all those things that are going on in your life that you keep ignoring. It's the diet that you're going to start another day. It is the exercise that you maybe are going to start maybe tomorrow. Today, you have a choice. You can live with persistent feelings of melancholy, worry, and overwhelm. Spend a lifetime trying to drown out your emotions with wine, chocolate, and meds. Keep eating foods that trash your physical and mental health. Stick your head in the sand and ignore your growing list of health concerns. Or you can take decisive action and get the results you've been searching for. Know that you are worthy of investing in yourself. You are worthy of transformation. You are worthy of self-confidence. You are worthy of loving yourself. And you are worthy of living your life feeling great inside and out. Recently, Lex said, "If you had told me 8 months ago that my eating choices were affecting my mood, I would have told you were full of it. But in the last 6 months, I figured out that my sugar addiction was the biggest thing driving my highs and lows." Learning about the connection between food and mood has been an educational eye-opener. I've always been high-strung, but now I'm a lot more mellow. Just ask my wife. I'm not picking fights with her as much. I have more self-control. I'm not as angry. I don't have highs and lows like I did before. Before I met you, I would read articles, but I couldn't put it all together. I needed to work with you to have an organized plan. I wish I could show people how I used to be and how I am today, because they wouldn't have any doubts about signing up to work with you. If you feel like Lex did before he came to see me, in a total mess, because you've been throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, but you don't know what's working and what isn't, I invite you to sign up for my mood map and wellness strategy session to see if private coaching is the right fit for you. It includes a nutritional assessment, an amino acid assessment to discover where you need support for your mental health, and a 1-hour appointment with me. For only $247, you will walk away with these clear directions on the next steps that you need to take to improve your mental health. I'm here to help you filter out the noise and to create a program that's designed specifically for your unique needs. This is going to do a couple of things. It's going to help save you time, reduce confusion, and make sure that the choices you make are going to really benefit your health. Everything we do together is personalized for you, and no other program out there uses nutrition to help you like this with your mental health. Now, you don't have to do this on your own. There are 2 ways that you can work with me, either with private coaching or with my group coaching program. To get started, you can either use the Amino Balance Assessment link that is case sensitive and on your screen right now, or you can give me a call at the office at 480-508-1318.